Welcome to 5 Minutes, your quick dive into the wide-ranging world of insurance, technology, and leadership. I'm Miguel Edwards, and I'll be your guide as we explore these topics that are transforming not just the insurance industry, but the business world at large. Along with sharing observations I've made over the span of my career in insurance, technology, and operations, I'll be chatting with some of the brightest minds in business and leadership. Whether you're a seasoned executive or a rising star, an industry expert, or just curious about how technology is revolutionizing insurance, this is your perfect spot for your weekly dose of insights. This is 5 Minutes. As you started talking about, kind of where you are from a data journey perspective, I remember maybe 10 years ago when digital strategy was the rage and everyone was saying, you got to get your data ready for digital strategy. We didn't get our data ready. We didn't do data strategy well. And now it's the same conversation. You got to get your data ready for AI. And we're still behind the curve.
Yeah. 2 years ago, I spoke at a Women in Insurance Technology conference and got up there, and it was right at the cusp of when AI was starting to be talked about. And I said, the best strategy for you right now is, if you want to get ready, is put your data in a place where you can access it. Don't even worry about whether it's structured or unstructured, or just put it in one place. And I think, half of the people kind of got it, and half of them didn't really understand why that would be a competitive advantage.
Right.
Now I think they're starting to realize, wow, we can't do this because we don't have access to all of our data. And I feel like I'm beating a drum over and over, but it's drum that
exactly right.
Is a competitive advantage in the long run, right?
Yeah. So carry that competitive advantage forward just a little bit, Grace, because I know you run a TPA. So talk a little bit about that TPA, the operations, and the competitive advantage that you enjoy as a result of that mental model.
Yeah. Well, we have multiple layers of competitive advantage. So the first is, yes, we have this data infrastructure, which is AI-based, which means our customers can surface whatever information they want. But we then used that capability to build what we call the claim conductor, which is essentially a multi-swarm of agents that do both horizontal and vertical AI, embracing the human where needed and leveraging the human where the human makes the most sense, but also helping that human do things, helping them reason and decision. So if you engage with us, you're going to get highest quality, because we can drive highest quality down to the individual adjuster level, but we can also surface deviations from quality. So our defect rates are going to be materially lower. We don't work on a diary. We work on a push task-based system, so activity-based system, which means claims don't sit even 2 or 3 days for things to happen. Things get done right away or teed up right away. So we're bringing together efficiency, automation. We believe is kind of a byproduct of building the right, solutions. You're going to get a data infrastructure and analysis that is, superior, and you're going to get incredible experience. I have tremendous experience. We're hiring. We have a hiring profile. One of our team members came from D.E. Shaw's human capital, area where they hire the best, and where we've actually built a structure to hire in people who are able to work with AI and who can interact with it really effectively to drive best outcomes.
You're hitting on something, by the way, that I haven't heard anybody talk about yet since I've been here, which is the human capital element of this.
Yeah.
And so I'd love for you to dive in just a little bit more around perhaps the profile and what that profile looks like as folks think about hiring the right talent. What's that profile for that person?
Yeah. Well, number one is intellectual agility.
Okay.
And a willingness to work with the tools, right? If you think about how many tools, even just in today's world outside of work, we're dealing with. You have to be able to nimbly go from one to the other. And so we're going to have this claim conductor, but it is going to require interaction at some points in time. It's going to require the right amount of intelligence around what it is surfacing, so you don't just accept it blindly. You think through, do I want to do that? Should I do that? If not, why not? So we're testing for intellectual agility. I always say anyone who interviews with me has to be intellectually agile, because I am the least structured interviewer known to man. But also, just sheer enthusiasm for working with different tools. We've shown our demo to adjusters who are in our, hiring pipeline, and they are all incredibly excited at it. Because what they say is, wow, this is solving all of the problems and things we hated about the job.
Yeah.
But we did have one person say, well, gosh, if you're taking all the easy stuff away, then I'm going to have to do all the hard stuff. And
I love that. Because that's not the way it's supposed to be, right? Oh my God.
no. And we don't want to,
no.
people who, only want to do the easy stuff are probably not the right fit for us.
Thank you for joining this episode of 5 Minutes. If you've enjoyed our discussion, we'd love for you to share it with anyone else you think might find it interesting. Also, please subscribe on whatever podcast platform you're listening on and hit that bell to stay on top of the game with our practical 5-minute episodes. We look forward to seeing you again next week.